The more you spike your dopamine throughout the day, the less enjoyable self-improvement habits will be for you. So it's really all about controlling your dopamine stimulation. That little bit of suffering in the cold shower is dipping your dopamine. And then when you get out of the shower, your dopamine is gradually going back up, and this is your motivation. Most men out there, they think that discipline means suffering. It's something hard. Self-improvement is a grind. You have to just grit your teeth and get through it because you know it's the right thing to do. I'll explain to you in this video why these habits, these self-improvement habits and being disciplined, going to the gym, meditating, journaling, all these things can actually be the most fun thing you can do. The truth is, once you get to a certain point, discipline actually becomes one of the most enjoyable things in life. And things that used to be fun, like getting drunk with your friends and staying up late, this becomes something you want to avoid. You actually don't enjoy it at all, but you enjoy going to the gym. You enjoy meditation, journaling, even cold showers, believe it or not. So it all has to do with dopamine. You can't enjoy self-improvement habits if you are constantly having your dopamine stimulated on a much higher level by video games, porn, drugs, like alcohol and weed. These are drugs. These are the most common drugs. If you're doing this stuff, if you're doing these fun activities that spike your dopamine way more than meditating or something, then meditating is not going to be enjoyable. The more you spike your dopamine throughout the day, the less enjoyable self-improvement habits will be for you. So it's really all about controlling your dopamine stimulation. Learn about what stimulates your dopamine. It's like junk food, scrolling social media, like novelty, short form videos with constant novelty. This spikes your dopamine. Porn is a huge example. This spikes your dopamine like crazy. Try to go without porn and without any kind of like, eat bland food with no seasoning. Just eat like chicken breast and steak with no seasoning and eggs. Don't watch TV. Don't watch movies. Don't socialize. This spikes dopamine as well. Just try to limit your dopamine as much as possible, and then see how excited you are and how enjoyable it is to meditate, to go to the gym, to write and read and learn and work on your business. All of this stuff becomes so fun and enjoyable once you limit your dopamine, you do a dopamine detox. Even just one day, just for one day, don't listen to music. Don't eat sugar. Don't stare at your phone. Put your phone on black and white, grayscale. Look up how to do that in the settings on iPhone. It's like accessibility, display and text, color filters, grayscale. I do this when I have a perfect day. This is when I want to do all my good habits and refrain from all devices. It evolves over time, but currently the things that make it a perfect day, besides just doing all the habits, is right after I wake up, I take a cold shower and I have my phone on grayscale, on black and white, and I have black coffee. These things limit dopamine, and it makes doing work so much more enjoyable. It makes doing self-improvement habits so much more enjoyable, especially the cold shower. The cold shower actually, it dips your dopamine. Instead of spiking it, it lowers your dopamine. And then when it comes back up, it goes higher than your baseline. And this gives you motivation to do whatever you want to do that day. Cold shower, hugely important tip. Pro tip, wake up early and take a cold shower immediately and watch how much easier it is to do whatever difficult task. Also, make sure to do the most difficult task of the day, which is your deep work, right away. So you wake up, like 30 seconds to a minute is fine. For the most health effects, you should do like a 2-minute ice cold shower. It's not really about the time, it's more about like just suffering. That little bit of suffering in the cold shower is dipping your dopamine, and then when you get out of the shower, you're gradually your dopamine is gradually going back up, and this is your motivation. Also, doing your deep work early in the morning, right when you wake up, your brain waves are in sleep are very similar to the brain waves of flow state, so you can more easily get into a flow state if you do your work right after you wake up. The cold shower, like you can even skip that and go straight into deep work. This can help, but that's why I do a short cold shower. Like 40 seconds is not that much time in between me and doing my work. So I like to have the cold shower. It's a great, like, if you need the motivation. But if you're doing this consistently and you're in a routine, you don't have to do the cold shower. You can just straight into the deep work. This works amazing. So when you do the dopamine detox and you don't stimulate your brain constantly with all this dopamine, then real meaningful progress towards your goal becomes the most enjoyable, fun thing in the world. And this is the state you want to get into. It's all about limiting your dopamine spikes from scrolling social media, from junk food, from drugs and alcohol, from socializing, from music, even music. Oh, this is another thing about a perfect day for me. I don't listen to music on a perfect day. Maybe towards the end of the day, but definitely not in the morning. If I'm having a normal day, I'm still on my self-improvement journey. The goal is to have a perfect day every day eventually. For this year, my goal is a perfect week, 7 perfect days in a row. But eventually I want to live this as my lifestyle. But right now I'm still doing like this normie, like regular person life for the majority of the time, interspersed with like hardcore disciplined self-improvement days, which I call perfect days. No music in the morning on a perfect day. Usually when I wake up, it's a very slow morning. I might even smoke some weed. I'll have a very slow morning listening to music, just enjoying my life. But on perfect days, no music, cold shower, straight into deep work. Eventually this will be my entire lifestyle for like 80% of the time. And then like 20% of the time, I can take like a week or a month and go travel and live this like high dopamine lifestyle of drugs and alcohol and women and enjoying life to the fullest, to the maximum. It was never my intention to completely shut off that side of life of enjoyment and pleasure and hedonism. It was never my intention to do that. It was my intention to make it 80-20, because I used to be 100% hedonic treadmill, pleasure, comfort, ease, these nice, soft, feminine things. It's gotten much less. I would say maybe 50-50. I want to eventually get to 80-20, 80% disciplined, and I'm talking months in a row, not like 80% of the day. I'm talking about like 80% of the year, masculine, disciplined, pursuing my mission, my purpose, and then 20% of the year, guilt-free enjoyment of life and everything life has to offer to the extreme. So taking discipline to the extreme for most of the time, and then taking fun and pleasure and excitement and Dionysian orgies. The Apollonian is like order, structure, logic, masculine energy. And then the Dionysian is like free, animalistic instincts, intuition, drives, like instinctual drives, pleasure, hedonism, feminine energy. The goal is not to just completely deny the Dionysian comfort, pleasure, ease, enjoyment, fun. The goal is to make a balance that works for you in realizing your full potential in life and to actually accomplish something. You can't accomplish anything in life when you're constantly enjoying life, when you're constantly socializing and having fun, you can't accomplish anything. You accomplish things in solitude by living a low dopamine lifestyle and getting all your dopamine from your work and self-development habits. So you lower your dopamine, it makes going to the gym more fun, it makes just leveling up in life it makes it more enjoyable. When you've been living this masculine life of waking up early, taking cold showers, going to the gym, going to kickboxing or doing some kind of combat sports, when you've been living that hard masculine life, the idea of cuddling up with a woman to watch a movie, this just bores you to death. The same things don't interest you anymore once you start leveling up in life. But I understand, if you're weak, you don't want to go to the gym. Kickboxing is not fun when you're getting your ass beat and when you suck at it. You have to get to some level of proficiency, some level of competence in life before these things start to become more and more fun. And then the degenerate activities, the high dopamine spike activities become less and less fun, and you just feel bad about it. Have you ever just played video games all day and jerked off like 3 or 4 times? Those are fun things that spike your dopamine, but when you look back at those times, you kind of regret it and you feel ashamed of yourself, as you should. You want to do these activities, these lower dopamine activities, going to the gym, combat sports, working on a business, these things that are not fun in the moment, but looking back, they're like, wow, I feel proud of myself for doing that. It's not about what you feel in the moment, it's about what you feel overall about who you are and the things you do with your life. So this is just a growth mindset. You're growing as a person, you're pushing yourself, you're coming to the edge and going beyond. You're seeing what you're capable of. And you're improving over time, and this becomes addictive. It becomes the most enjoyable thing in life. And then you look at people who aren't doing that, who are watching TV, sitting on their fat ass, scrolling on their phone. You just see them as soft and weak and beneath you. You feel superior. And this is what you want. You want to feel superior in life because it means you are superior if you feel that way. It means you're doing everything right. It means you're leveling up. This is the vitality you want to feel. You won't feel the vitality and the masculine energy that you want from scrolling on TikTok or from jerking off to porn. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard to flip a switch and just start doing all the things you know you should do and stop doing the things you know you shouldn't. So it's just good to educate yourself through watching videos like this. Educate yourself about how dopamine works. Once you understand your brain and like the neurochemistry, this can go a long way and into helping you make better choices in your day-to-day. And it's all just about the present moment and making good choices in the present moment. So if you already jerked off today, it doesn't mean that it's done and you might as well keep doing it 5 more times today. Whatever happened in the past, whatever happened this morning, if you woke up and beat your meat this morning, that doesn't mean that you have to write off the whole rest of the day. You can still turn things around. All that matters is the present moment. After watching this video and leaving a like and a comment and subscribing if you haven't subscribed, after this video, go do something. Go meditate, go run in nature, journal about your goals, about your purpose in life. Put your phone on black and white. Don't watch TV. I'm gonna sell my TV. I don't want to have this large screen that I can watch media on. And I don't think there's an option to turn it black and white. But anyway, don't have a TV. Have books. Replace TV watching with reading books. And it might sound boring now, but I guarantee you over time, it's gonna be the most fun and fulfilling thing imaginable. Truly. I truly love reading and learning and advancing in life and building myself as a man. I truly love doing that stuff, and it's enjoyable and fun when I'm not doing all the bullshit high dopamine spiking activities. So you got to get rid of those in order to enjoy the fulfilling self-work. So if you've tried to do self-improvement habits before and then you always fell back into your old ways, it's because you didn't stick with it long enough to get to the fun part, to get to the part where you actually enjoy what you're doing. And you just feel so good about yourself. You feel so fulfilled and proud of yourself when you do the things you know you're supposed to. And it actually, you want to do it. You want to meditate. You want to journal. You want to lift weights. You want to get better at fighting. I recommend all men do this. I mean, maybe you have some disability and you can't fight. If you have arms, you could do some jiu-jitsu. Do some kind of combat sport. It's really good for you. And of course, something creative, something musical. Practice an instrument. This is great. I do piano. The most important things for health, this is, you can click off the video now. I'll just give you some random advice. The best things for health and longevity, there's two things. VO2 max, which you do through high intensity daily cardio, like kickboxing, skateboarding, long distances, going hard. That's what I like to do. There's many things. Sprinting, hill sprints. You got to do that every day. And then the other one is, besides VO2 max, it's muscle mass. How much muscle mass you have, this is going to determine how long you live a healthy, functional life. There's no point living to be 110 if you're like disabled and you can't even move. You want to be old and healthy. You want to be 100 years old, still active and doing things, and not relying on other people. And the way you get there is through building muscle mass now while you're young, improving your VO2 max through intense cardio sessions. All right, guys, leave a comment. Tell me about what self-improvement habits you have tried but stopped doing because you're fucking up your brain with too much dopamine. Just comment about your self-improvement journey and if you've felt any kind of enjoyment of doing these self-development habits, or if you never got to that point because you always fucked it up by scrolling on TikTok or something, or jerking off to porn. Subscribe to the channel for more blue light men's self-improvement videos, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.